All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to take a look at its local and city search here combined. See if it's got BSS. So we're out here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that pinned video, pinned post, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our, on the left side, well, we got our graph here, our FSIC graph in white. On the left side, we got our highest intent peeps. They're looking for boudoir photographers right now, or boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. Highest intent peeps, highest converting, closest to the money. This is the people we focus on reaching here when we make videos about BSS. Way over on the right, the lowest intent peeps, people not searching for boudoir right now. Most of them don't even have any idea what the heck boudoir even is. So talk about some stuff related to reaching those people on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. So we talk about BLCS, and currently over there, we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So boudoir search sameness, that is BSS. So a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots, extra bad, because that means we're on page 2 or deeper of Google. And we already know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're invisible to approximately 80% of searches, approximately 80% of the market if we're page 2 or deeper. So, our business is on a fast track to death in that case. And 1 slot on page good, that ain't good either. Because if we got 1 slot, well, there's 10 organic slots there. If we got 1 slot, that means there's 10 other businesses, or 9 other businesses there, boudoir photographers. And everyone most likely has 1 link. And so, as a result, we look the same as everyone else. We don't stand out. We're not looking amazing. Our 1 slot same as everyone else. So what's a buyer going to do? Well, approximately 80% of the buyers, they're just going to click down, open every link page 1, never even go to page 2, but open every link page 1 and actually fill out every contact form, get a quote from everyone, compare, price shop, negotiate, get the most for the least, waste time, and there's going to be like 10% or less of our contact form fill outs are actually going to result in buyers. Now, 0-1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which nearly everyone knows about, and also this new one, the false belief of page 1 equality. So yeah, market saturation, more peeps, become boudoir photographers. Seems like every week, it's kind of people naturally upgrade their gear, get new iPhones, get new camera gear. And peeps, throw up their Google My Business profile saying they're boudoir photographer now. They have their website saying they do boudoir photography. They post in the mom groups on Facebook more, saying they offer boudoir photo shoots. So market saturation, then the false belief of page 1 equality. This has kind of been something boudoir photographers have accepted, where it's kind of like people have auto believe that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, when it's not. That's not true at all. What is actually true is Google will give us as many page 1 slots as normal, or as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. So kind of the old school thinking, default original thinking, boudoir photographers they got their website ranked, page 1 slot 8. So market saturation more, boudoir photographers come in, their website ranks above theirs. And as a result, they're pushed down to slot 2, page 2, slot 1. So they're sitting there like, man, I hope those people delete their websites and Google de-indexes them so Google can bring me back up on a page 1. But no, dude, that's sit and wait approach, and that's not how Google wants us. That's not how Google will reward us. Google will reward us by actually taking as many slots as we want. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days with this new methodology we discovered. Next, a boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So, disappearing because if you got 0 slots page 1, you're page 2 or deeper, invisible to approximately 80% of the market, yeah, you're disappearing. If you've got only 1 slot page 1 Google, you look the same as everyone else, you're still essentially invisible. So yeah, you're disappearing. In both these cases, being a bit disappearing boudoir photographer means it's kind of like a warning light, a flashing light, the canary in the coal mine that actually our boudoir photography business is now on the path to disappearing as well. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We have discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka our S cubed methodology. And the way it works, it's right in the name, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, making sure we show up there. And this is like the snow at the top of a mountain. Think of the Andes Mountains down in South America, the snow up there on the eastern side, the backside of those mountains. What actually happens is that, the snow is always melting. It's always snowing there and melting. So the water flows into small streams, small rivers, and eventually all that water collects into the Amazon River. That Amazon River, that's page one Google search. And that means everything starts, everything begins with, getting the snow up to the top of the mountain, and then everything melts from there. And so getting that snow up there, that's SQ methodology to get that snow all the way up there. And this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually enable them to compete and still grow in a market that's getting more and more saturated over time, and do it in a relatively quick time frame. On the other hand, the other option is having a large, well-known brand. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got that time anymore. AI is taking people's jobs already. We don't have the time to wait 5 to 10 years to build a massive, large brand. But interestingly enough, my estimates actually, if one is using SQ methodology, my estimate is it can actually build a large, well-known brand at approximately 8x the speed as normal traditional methods, simply because we're on so many different surfaces, so much more volume, much higher frequency. And so an example here of SQ methodology, we are now going to go to Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, so let's say we got 1 million boudoir photographers in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they boudoir photographer, shoot boudoir photography, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's competing for the hyper competitive page one slots on Google with their website. And we're like, man, we ain't got a large, well-known brand. Literally, the only chance we got to compete is implementing S-Cube methodology. So, let's say we take it all the way to the max, where we're, we take literally like the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city across all social search. And then let's say that all flows to Google page one search, and we're taking first 300 slots Google search as well. And it's 10 organic slots per page one on Google. So, we're taking out the first 30 pages. So whenever a boudoir buyer looks for a boudoir photographer in our city, a boudoir photo shoot, whatever, they actually, we're basically the only one they can find. So if we're basically the only one people can find, obviously our business is probably going to be the only one growing. And then the competing 999,999 other boudoir photographers, their business will probably be shrinking. And, so this is kind of the extreme case of what SQ methodology can actually enable or give a chance to a boudoir photography business to achieve. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we now have page one visibility. So yeah, we're getting more slots page one Google search. We're also, for each new slot we're kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them visible. A lot of boudoir photographers like this one because they can actually choose how many of their competitors to kick off, basically based on their own effort. Put them on page two or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. So put their competitor businesses on the path to becoming disappearing competitor boudoir photography businesses. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where the GBC universe recommends hitting a minimum or having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search. It's because everyone else is probably going to have one. So, okay, our 3 is always going to dominate. Everyone else has got one each, one link each. And our, the super rare chance someone has 2 slots, well, our 3 slots dominates them as well. Finally, boudoir photographer with BSV, boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our, our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. That's fine. Thankfully, we now have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, on to my results here. I wanted to rank and dominate for this keyword BLCS boudoir. So I use S-cubed methodology to do it. Let's see the results. So organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. And so I'm from 0 to slots, 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S-cubed methodology. Now, onto the main event. We're going to see for this boudoir photography business, for its local and city search combined here, seeing if it actually reaches, see if it's got BSS, see if it's in the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. Let's check it out. So we're going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. All right, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Let's go to the organics. Boom, got an organic one. Well, Google's stuck thinking there. Oh, data's off. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. Yeah, we'll count that one, Chamber of Commerce. Boom, we got 3. All right, so we got 3 out of 10. Nice, very good. So for our local and city search combined here, we got we did not have BSS and we hit the GBC recommend minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. So all is looking perfect. So if you're a boudoir photographer, a disappearing boudoir photographer, which means you've done local search for the highest intent keywords in your local area for that boudoir buyers will be searching, and you've done the highest intent keywords for your city or close to city for highest intent keywords boudoir buyers will be buying, and you either have BSS for one or both, boudoir search sameness, or you do not meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google for either one or both. And you're seeing, you're liking the initial benefits of S-cubed methodology. You decide this is the one path, the one solution forward for you. Because you want more slots page 1 on Google, and you definitely want to catch your competitors page 1 on Google, kick them to page 2, where now we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even make it to page 2. So the bulk of the market will never even find your competitors through organic search. And, you want to use S-cubed methodology because now you understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief, and Google actually wants to give as many page 1 slots as possible to those who want to put in the effort to take them. And now we realize we got a methodology, a solution to take them with S-cubed methodology. And you understand the market saturation, new phone, new gear, bringing new boudoir photographers in. But you also are looking ahead and you're seeing that, hey, you actually need to fortify your business, and you decide you're going to fortify your business against the future boudoir photographers that come in, not only from the new iPhone and the new camera, but also the much larger share. The larger share is actually going to be more people losing their jobs to AI, and they still got to earn money, they still got to pay their expenses, and everyone's got a great camera attached to their iPhone already. So there's going to be way more boudoir photographers coming into the market because of AI, and you actually want to give yourself, fortification in preparation of those boudoir photographers coming into the market, kind of like the levees in New Orleans. They build up the sandbag levees because New Orleans is actually below sea level. So you actually want to build up that fortification in preparation for the future boudoir photographers entering the market, which is going to be more and more over time. So you already decided you're going to prepare for that, and you realized, hey, paying for Facebook ads ain't doing that. That's on Facebook. Paying for Google ads ain't doing that because that's only one slot on Google. The only option that gives you multiple slots is S-cubed methodology for boudoir photographers. And so you realize you need this solution. You want the initial benefits. You want the, pre-fortification benefits because you need to achieve page one visibility to become a visible boudoir photographer and have boudoir search visibility because you need those things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the back-end benefits as well, which we've not talked about yet, but you actually understand already, which is every day we execute S-cubed methodology correctly, we are actually increasing and building up these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, or spokes, hub and spoke. It's attached into our business name, our brand name, our social accounts. And what this is doing, this is building up massive momentum and mind share in the back end of these AI systems. So every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology together, we're actually increasing the probability you get recommended here, AI overview, premium placement, the one top slot for a search in your city for a boudoir photographer, as well as increasing the probability that regular AI searches actually give you, actually feature you as well, as be ChatGPT search, Claude search, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Standard Google search still about 90% of searches globally, but dude, AI search is growing every day. I haven't done normal Google search probably in like a year to actually like read and learn stuff from a website. I just do the AI mode on Google. And last time I searched for boudoir photographer was in I remember it gave me 3 options, but I actually went on my own and looked like Google standard search, and there were about 60 options. So dude, AI search can be more and more. S-cubed methodology gives us higher chances of showing up AI overview at the top and all AI search. And you also recognize the final kind of extra benefit of using S-cubed methodology since you've decided to be the first mover in your city, you can make all this progress, build up all these initial benefits and the momentum for the future benefits, kind of the invisible AI mindshare for your business ahead of all your competitors, because right now my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city on this. And so as a result, you actually, every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology together. We are building up, got initial benefits initially happening very fast, and kind of the long-term benefits, the invisible benefits for AI overview recommendation, AI search recommendation. Every day we're putting a bigger and bigger gap between your current competitors and the future competitors coming from AI stealing people's jobs and people becoming boudoir photographers because they need to earn money. We're building up this momentum where basically no one, when we execute on this, no one's going to be able to catch up to us. Because conversely, if someone else in your city went with me first, you would have to rederive or derive for the first time the correct way to do S-cubed methodology, and you would never actually be confident you've derived the correct way to do it. Never be 100% confident, and then you'd have to go equal our execution with me and your competitor. But we've already been doing it long before you, so we've already built up a massive gap between them and you with all the initial benefits and the future benefits, momentum with AI mindshare. So you'd have to then execute the same amount of us every day. And then if you did that, you'd simply maintain the gap that me and your competitor have already made of us being ahead of you. So you'd have to actually double or triple our execution to pull that AI mindshare, those invisible thematic keyword columns away from the competitor's brand, competitor's name in your same city for the AI mindshare in the back end. Pull that back towards yourself, and like, dude, who's got time for that? I mean, how are you gonna outcompete the person that invented S-cubed methodology? Me. So you've decided, screw that. You decided, okay, you're gonna be the first mover because you want to be the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DM's open. The hospital is not currently open for new patients. When I do open up for new patients, I watch these videos. I'll put out a notice, and yeah, shoot a DM then, and we'll see if you qualify for using S-cubed methodology.